Before you even turn 10, 60-year-old generals are weeping at your feet, begging for their lives. You don't use ordinary bullets to execute your own family. You use a massive, four-barreled anti-aircraft gun to obliterate your uncle into a red mist of blood. And today, 25 million starving prisoners are locked inside a pitch-black country, completely at the mercy of your single, trembling finger hovering over a red nuclear button. This isn't a nightmare. This is your reality. Do not look away, because in the next few minutes, you will experience the complete, terrifying destruction of a human soul. How does an innocent boy playing basketball in Switzerland turn into the most ruthless monster on Earth? Imagine. You look at satellite images taken from space at night. The entire Asian continent, South Korea, Japan, and China, glows in a sea of billions of bright lights. They are the lights of life, civilization, freedom, and hope. But right in the middle of them lies a pitch-black, all-consuming, terrifying abyss. This is your country, the largest prison on the planet, where 25 million people live without electricity, in freezing cold, pitch darkness, and absolute terror. While people boil tree bark just to survive, in the center of this endless dark wasteland, there is a single source of light. A single point that shines like the sun even at night. This is your palace, built of marble and solid gold. You were not born an ordinary child. You don't even have the right to consider yourself human. The state's terrifying brainwashing propaganda machine has declared you a god fallen from the sky, the son of the awakening. They dictate that your veins do not pump red blood, but sacred revolutionary divinity. Your childhood was a maddening theatrical stage that defied all logic and humanity. Heavy wooden doors swing open. You are only a 7-year-old boy. Yet the 60-year-old gray-haired ruthless generals who enter the room, their chests weighed down by dozens of gold medals, fall to their knees before you. They press their foreheads against the cold marble floor and kiss your tiny shoes. You look at their faces. They are trembling. Cold sweat pours down their foreheads and tears stream from their eyes. Even as a child, in that very moment, you realize the first terrifying truth of your life. These military men are not crying because they love you. They are weeping out of a paralyzing, mortal fear of you and your last name. Your toys are nothing like other children's. Private jets bring you the latest PlayStation consoles from Japan and the most expensive watches from Switzerland. You are given real, loaded firearms to play with. You have your own private amusement park. For your 10th birthday, they gift you a real, custom-built military tank that you can actually sit inside and drive. If you point a single finger, hundreds of thousands of people in massive stadiums will scream your name, weep, and throw themselves to the ground. But inside this thick-walled cage made of solid gold, you are a ghost. You are absolutely alone. You do not have a single true friend, nor can you ever have one. Every face that smiles at you, every servant, every minister, it is all just a synthetic mask worn to keep themselves alive. You do not live among humans. You live among robots built out of fear. You cannot give them love. Gods do not befriend mortals. But suddenly, this bloody, suffocating fairy tale is interrupted. Your father makes an unexpected, bizarre decision. To show you the Western world, to let you see how the enemy lives, he secretly sends you to study far away in Switzerland. You are no longer a living god. You are given an entirely fake name, a forged passport, and a fabricated backstory. You attend a normal international school in the city of Bern. You breathe the crisp, freezing air of the Swiss Alps. For the first time in your life, you see people who do not tremble or kneel around you, people who look at you like a normal human being. You sit at a desk with ordinary European kids. They just think of you as a shy, awkward kid of some Asian diplomat. They cannot even begin to imagine that your father is the most ruthless tyrant on the planet, or that behind the walls of your palaces, millions of people are dying of black labor and starvation. On those quiet Swiss streets, you taste the sweet nectar of freedom for the first time. There are no hundreds of armed guards following your every step. You eat cheap, ordinary pizza on the street. You fall madly in love with American basketball. When you bounce the ball on the asphalt in the schoolyard, wearing a red Chicago Bulls jersey, shooting hoops, you actually feel alive. The rhythm of the bouncing ball becomes the rhythm of your own freedom. Among these tall, smiling, ordinary kids, you feel like a normal teenager, a real human being. But at night, lying in the dark, staring at the walls of your dorm room, a terrifying, blood-freezing agony crawls up from the depths of your soul. Your classmates dream about who they will become in the future. One wants to be an engineer, another a doctor, another a musician. A limitless, bright horizon of choices lies before them. But you cannot join their ranks. You cannot utter a single word about your future, because your future has already been written across your forehead in blood and darkness. You know better than anyone that sooner or later you must leave this free sky and return to that terrifying, cold, dark cage. Your destiny is to become a ruthless monster who keeps his own people in slavery, executes dissenters, and terrorizes the entire world with nuclear weapons. The realization that your smiles here, your basketball games, and your lungs filling with free air are nothing but a temporary illusion, a short-lived film that will soon end. It tears your body apart. You are just a ghost on a brief vacation, and that terrifying, inevitable day arrives. Freedom ends. The moment the wheels of your private jet touch the concrete of Pyongyang Airport, you feel the weight of an entire hell crash down upon your shoulders. Those heavy iron doors close behind you. You are back in your homeland. You are no longer just a boy playing basketball. You are the untouchable crown prince. Your father summons you to his dark office and begins to teach you how to survive. The lessons he gives you are not mathematics or history. He teaches you the bloody, merciless anatomy of power. Power is not held by love, he says in a cold, emotionless voice. Power survives only through breaking bones and absolute slaughter. If you show even a fraction of an ounce of weakness, these generals weeping and kneeling around you, even your own blood relatives, will choke you to death like a dog. Your only weapon is absolute, paralyzing terror. You witness the terrifying truth of these words very soon, with your own eyes. The political purges within the palace begin. The closest people who ever looked at your father, or now you, with even a hint of doubt, the ones who could cast a shadow on your future rule, are targeted. And one day, you are told to come out and watch the show. The most horrifying part is that this wasn't a simple hanging or a firing squad. This was psychological terror. You are seated on a hard, cold chair in a vast military square. Right before your eyes, into the center of the open field, they drag your own blood relative, your uncle, the man who carried you on his shoulders when you were a child, who always smiled warmly at you. He is dragged out, blindfolded, and they don't bring ordinary executioners with rifles to face him. They bring a massive, 4-barreled ZPU-4 anti-aircraft gun. A weapon designed to shred metal and shoot down military fighter jets from the sky. This was a weapon never meant for a human body. Dead silence. Then, the order is given. A deafening, earth-shattering roar erupts. The massive, monstrous bullets tearing out of the anti-aircraft gun at hundreds of rounds per minute don't just kill a human body, they obliterate it into dust, powder, and a red mist of blood, erasing it from the universe entirely. In a fraction of a second, nothing remains of your uncle on that square. Only the suffocating, nauseating stench of vaporized human flesh and burnt gunpowder lingering in the air. You do not move a single muscle in your seat. The blood in your veins turns to ice, but your face cannot show fear, pity, or any emotion whatsoever. All the observers around you, the executioners, and the generals, are secretly watching your reaction. If you turn your face away, if you close your eyes, or if you shed a single tear, you are weak. And the weak do not survive on this terrifying throne. You are forced to sit there like a stone statue, staring cold-bloodedly into the shredded red mist of your own uncle. You pass this bloody test. That horrific night, when you return to your bed, your mind is permanently altered. You discover the most chilling truth of all. Inside these golden walls, you cannot trust your mother, your wife, or your own brother. You have no family around you. You are surrounded only by predators ready to slit your throat the moment you slip. If you do not keep them chained in absolute fear, they will devour you alive. When you lie down to sleep, you place a loaded pistol under your pillow. Paranoia becomes your only friend. Years pass. On one of the most bitter, bone-chilling winter days, your father dies. Your father, your only shield, turns to dust. The country goes insane. Millions of people are forced out into the snowy streets, under the open sky, forced to fall to their knees, wail, tear their clothes, and scream in agony. They know if they don't cry, they will be executed. Their synthetic, yet terrifying wails cover the entire sky. Now it is your turn. The bloody throne is beneath you. The generals bow their heads and bring you the most terrifying object on Earth, the red nuclear button and its secret launch codes. Now, under your single finger lies an entire arsenal of atomic bombs. With one command, continents can turn to ash, cities can melt away. You have 25 million prisoners in your dungeon. They are your people. They eat what you tell them to eat. They wear what you tell them to wear. They sleep only when you command it. You are the master of absolute power, the sole, living God of the largest and most terrifying country in the world. But at night, when you look into the giant mirror in your vast, empty palace, when you stare deep into your own dark eyes, you see the horrifying truth. You are not the most powerful man in the world. You are, in fact, the biggest, most helpless slave of this rotting, bloody, and savage system that your father and grandfather built with their own hands. You might hate starving your people. You might absolutely despise killing people, but you have no choice. The brakes on this train were destroyed decades ago. If you try to reform, if you open the doors of that cage and grant freedom to your people, those starving, rage-filled masses will be the very first to tear you and your entire family to pieces. If you show mercy, your own military, the same generals kneeling before you, will assassinate you. You have no way back. Your only salvation is to keep spilling blood. Your only defense is to keep the people in darkness and hold everyone else in savage, paralyzing fear. That innocent, shy boy who ran around playing basketball in a Chicago Bulls jersey in the clean, free mountains of Switzerland. He died a long time ago. He was shredded to pieces inside you by the massive bullets of an anti-aircraft gun. And now, sitting on this bloody throne is nothing but your empty shell. A predatory monster that feeds on fear and is condemned to drink human blood just to stay alive. You were born a living God, but your eternal curse and your inescapable golden cage are so narrow and cold that the only way you can survive inside it is by eating the flesh of your own people. And you are condemned to continue this bloody feast until the very last second of your life.